And oh my god! I tried? Hello, it's me, someone who says they aren't going to do a thing, and then I do a thing. I know, it's been over a year and a half since my last Pokemon from memory video, and I know in that video I said I was not going to be doing any more of these Pokemon by memory videos because I didn't want to. So much so that I forced myself to do the 3rd generation despite not wanting to do it because so many people demanded to do it, so I pushed through and did it. And the voiceover for the video was just me saying, I didn't want to do this, and it was miserable, and then everyone got mad at me, so learned my lesson. If I don't want to do a thing, then just don't ding ding do it. Well, that was then. Now I want to. I don't know if it's the release of the new Pokemon game coming out soon or if I've just been having so much stress that I wanted to just have a really chill illustration where I just draw really stupid things and have fun with it, but this was both a lot of fun and a lot of work because, you guys, I am really familiar with the 1st generation and the 2nd generation because I grew up with those. I have played the remakes 100 times, but as each new Pokemon generation comes out, I get less and less interested in it. In fact, in the first Pokemon by memory video, I mentioned that I still haven't beat, what is it? Sun and Moon, I think is the newest one. Still haven't beat it, but I think it would be really fun if I tried to do all of the Pokemon by memories in order, and then when the new game comes out, I play through it once, and then I draw them from memory, because then, I mean, yes, it will be fresh on my memory, but at the same time, I do play Pokemon Go still, and I have seen these Generation 4 Pokemon lately, and I still donk them up, like, a lot. So here's a poll, why not? Do you want to see me do, number 1, all of the Pokemon by memory if I don't burn myself out, and also play through the game once and then draw them from memory because I think it would be really funny. I will have to look up the Pokemon that I didn't encounter in the game because one playthrough does not guarantee that I will see all of them, so I will have to look up the Pokedex. I don't know, actually, hold on. I don't know if I can do that because they usually end up releasing Pokemon later, right? Or do we get the whole Pokedex right away? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they release Pokemon throughout the year. Now I don't know what to do. Anyways, so like I said I was not going to draw this, but you know, people change their minds. And like I said, I just needed something very silly and goofy to draw, so I drew it. So the first 3 videos you may have noticed I started off by flipping through my sketchbook where I sketched the whole generation, I guess because I already was pretty familiar with the Pokemon. By sketching them out first, I would be able to notice details that I missed, but honestly, I know the generations from 3 beyond so little, there really was no point in sketching this 4th generation beforehand. I just went straight onto the paper with pencil and was like, you know, Whatever I remember is what I remember. There were a couple of times where I sketched a evolution line for a Pokemon, be it 2 or 3 Pokemon, and after I had done the final evolution, I looked at the first one and was like, yeah, we're going to need to do a little bit of editing on that one because they all look exactly the same. Though, as you can see, they are, gosh, they're just so simple. When you need to remember something with so much detail and you can't think of any detail, you just leave it at the bare bones and everything looks like a very generic animal that just looks slightly weird. It was almost stressful, but at the same time, I just kept laughing at how stupid they looked, and especially, there are a few Pokemon that I just couldn't remember. For example, Kricketot and Kricketune, I, for the life of me, could not remember what they looked like and just ended up drawing these weird humanoid cricket creatures, and why? Even after I completed this illustration, I went back, looked at them for my reaction, and then an hour later, I was just like, what do they look like? I can't remember. I think for the most part, I got the general form, and I mean, would you think this was a Pokemon if you saw some of these on their own? Absolutely not, but I mean, for as little as I've played these games, I think, I don't know. I mean, it was funny, whatever. I fear the day when I do Generation 6 and 7, oof. Snover and Abomasnow are just kind of my own creation, apparently. I think what I drew as Abomasnow looks like Snover, and then I just didn't know where to go from there because I had already drawn Snover for Abomasnow, and I didn't know what to do for Snover, so things were very confusing. And that pretty much just sums up this whole video and the process, especially when we get lower and lower and lower, especially to the final evolutions, and then things like the legendaries. Wow. The more detail Pokemon has, obviously, the more messed up it's going to look. But you know what? The results are funny, so I'll take it. I do want to mention one very important detail that I know a lot of people are not going to hear me say. I drew Chimecho in place of Chingling because when I did the Generation 3 and I was supposed to draw Chimecho, I actually drew Chingling. So just to make sure that I drew every Pokemon from memory, I did have to end up swapping them again. So Chingling is not in this illustration because I accidentally swapped it with Chimecho. So that is that. I did not draw the different forms for Burmy and Wormadam just because they're so similar and I don't really care. So I just did one form. Unlike Shaman, where the form is different enough that I did go ahead and draw the 2 forms. Same thing with Rotom, because his forms are so different, I thought it would be more fun to draw them. So I did. Poorly, yes, but I drew them. Some of my favorite mess-ups are Gallade. He just looks like a little Lego man. Magnezone, I drew him looking like a dang magnet crab. I mean, what even happened there? Lickalily just pretty much looks like Lickitung, so good job, me. Oh, that reminds me also for Gliscor, I basically drew its pre-evolution, and same goes for Mantike, where I drew the evolution because I just didn't know what it looked like, and then I looked at my previous generation drawing and I was like, I already drew those and that's all I can think of, so what the heck am I supposed to draw? So I just drew the same thing because what was I supposed to do? Not to mention Buizel, I just put a floaty around its waist. I knew the floaty wasn't around its waist, but I couldn't think of where else to put it because brain dead, I don't even know. So it's basically just a little weasel hanging out with a floaty around its waist. We're not even going to talk about Miss Magius. Wow, that is probably takes the cake, honestly. I don't know why I put the most effort and detail into Bronzong. I just really liked the way it turned out, and it was silly, and I liked the colors, so I guess I gave him some extra love. In Dusk Noir, you might say he's mummy thick, because he's like, I drew thick, and he's a mummy, get it? Because you know, dummy thick? Why? Wait, is my favorite actually Heatran? I mean, he just looks like this zombie creature. I mean, he's a weird looking Pokemon, but I drew him as just this zombie dude. Like, what is happening there? It was a struggle, but I had a lot of fun with this one, so I hope you guys enjoy my mistakes. And let me know in the comments which of my mess-ups is your favorite and which do you think I did the best with. I think Drifloon was pretty dang spot on. The only mistake is that I gave it a little circle tie so it looks exactly like a balloon. Leafeon was also pretty dang good. Is that it? Did I just do well on 2? Yeesh. And just for fun, let's record myself looking at the actual images of the Pokemon, shall we? So let's just bring up an image here. And oh my god! I tried? I think I got the general idea for most of these. I think the funniest one, I mean, did I try? Did I try? I think overall my issue with these is just a lack of detail. I just don't know what to add, so I just kind of do nothing. And they'd end up like a black bird. Oh my gosh, the Magnemite guy, that is just truly not what he looks like. So one of the Pokemon that I was super confused about was the Abominable Snowman, and yeah, mine are cute, but they are nothing like what they're supposed to be. Well, I tried. Thank you all so much for watching this disaster. I hope you had fun. I had fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. And now a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons for all of their support. You guys are the best. If you want to be in the credits at the end of my videos, see secret sketches, coloring pages, early access, and more, check out my Patreon by clicking a link in the description. Thank you guys all so much for the support. Bye.